Yeah, we're back. We had a little break, a little fall break. Lots of stuff happened on the break that we're going to talk about tonight, including we'll give an early shout out to Mr. John Dinkins.
John Dinkins.
Bionic man.
Yeah, get well soon. You know, I'm going to make a prediction that John Dinkins will be back running the 4.4 40-yard dash, same as he did a few years back, here in just a matter of months.
I don't know. What do you think about that, Rod? I've seen John run from home to first in softball. I'm not sure.
Recently, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, maybe a 4.4 something in some distance. We don't know whether it be 40-yard dash or not. He's going to be back running again.
Well, Brian texted us and let us know everything went well. We're glad it did. He's probably going to miss a couple of football games, but he's probably going to feel a lot better. Maybe not today. He's probably a little sore still today, but he's going to get there. Both knees and now a hip.
The award-winning John Dinkins, you just can't beat him. You can't keep a good man down.
Cannot do it. Can't keep us down either because we're back because Ida's Tees are sponsors to place in Rutherford County for school spirit wear, screen printing, embroidery, specialty items, and more. Visit them at 111 East Middle Tennessee Christian Road, right across from the school off Memorial. You can also shop for your officially licensed MTSU Blue Raider gear from Raider Tees. Tees, polos, hats, and more at their showroom on 111 East MTCS Road. Ida's Tees can put your logo on just about anything. Stop by and see how they can help you promote your favorite team, workplace, or organization. Learn more at idastees.com.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Ring Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
For 27 years, Kenneth Barrett has proudly served the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office and now asks for your vote for sheriff. He started at age 20 as a detention officer, working his way through patrol, narcotics, and interstate crime operations. He's led specialized teams while keeping transparency and fairness at the forefront. Kenneth Barrett as sheriff means proven leadership you can trust to keep our community safe.
I'm Kenneth Barrett, running for Rutherford County Sheriff, and I'd appreciate your vote.
Paid for by Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff, Treasurer Jan Stewart.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Auctions are easy, fast, and profitable.
Whether you're buying or selling your home or commercial property, the auction is just so much easier, quicker, smoother.
My wife and I sold our personal home. Parks Auction helped us with that. The house brought about 20% more than we were going to ask for.
Visit parksauction.com.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Clark's Auction Company, committed to auction excellence.
Sold it to you, 27.5.
Your ride, your stuff. You live with them together. I'm State Farm Agent Andy Wommel. It's smart to protect them together, to help life go right. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let me help you save by combining your auto and renters.
At State Farm, when home and auto work as a team, you score and save money. I'm State Farm Agent Alex Williams. Give me a call at 615-898-1150 and let's work together to win big by saving money on home and auto.
Is your car running like a dream, or does it need a little TLC? At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we treat your vehicle like it's one of our own. Let's hear what some customers have to say about Dr. Automotive.
Been coming to them ever since he opened up. Good family. I recommend other people to get them repaired here because I knew they would do it and do it right. Been happy to send people to him because I trust what he does so much.
We're crazy about him. It's all about the doctor.
For quality care you can trust, visit Dr. Automotive in Smyrna. We've got the cure for your car.
Primetime Sports, presented by Ideas Tees on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, wgnssports.com, and Big G TV.
All right, we've got some fall sports winding down, some fall sports in tournament time. Going to start talking about golf. Girls Central Magnet finished runner-up, unfortunately, for the second straight year. They went to a one-hole playoff, lost to Greenville. 2 years in a row, that's tough, Ron.
That is tough because, I mean, how close can you get? I mean, you actually tie for first, but 2 years in a row, you don't get that big gold ball.
And I'm going to make it just a little bit worse because the golf coach at Central, his wife is my PE coach, and she said, Dr. Blair, the scoreboard the TSSAA had us up 1 at the end, and they realized they made a mistake. So we thought we had won.
Oh man! And so then it's one whole playoff, and you're losing
Talk
the one whole
about
playoff when you thought. Oh, my
they really
goodness.
thought
Oh, my
they had won.
goodness. Yeah.
PCA finished 4th in their division. Eagles, Alara Strickland finished 8th as an individual, and her teammate Anne-Marie Oliver finished 24th. Both are freshmen.
Yes. Anne-Marie Oliver, she is the granddaughter of Crusher Boyd, and her uncle is Connor Boyd. He's a baseball coach at Smyrna.
So that little team right there of 2 is going to do good things the next 3 years. On the boys' side, Sam Helton, a senior at Middle Tennessee Christian, finished 20th. In Class AA, Stewart's Creek boys finished 8th, and the Rockville girls finished 8th. Blackman's Braxton Head shot an even par 144, highlighted by an eagle on the 15th, a par 4. And eagle means he got that in.
He pitched it in, yeah. He got it in 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Or he drove the green. If he had the Clark Blair, the Dr. Clark Blair swing, he may have drove the green and then just putted it in.
Did a worm burner for 317 yards in.
Hey, Clark, I'm an advocate for Lauren Powell. She got 2nd place for Central Magnet in the girls' division. So shout out to her, 2nd place in state, because there are a lot of golfers out there.
Oh, that's pretty dang strong.
Yep. Siegel Maisie Bailey closed her career out with a 168. She's heading to Freed Hardeman to continue her golf career. So congratulations to those teams having a great season and those individuals. Volleyball sectionals are happening tonight. All matches at 7 o'clock. Central Magnet, they're on the road up at Signal Mountain in Crossville. Siegel's on the road at Cleveland. Bradley Central's coming to town to play Blackman. So good luck to those teams tonight. East Robinson is playing at Eagleville. Eagles' first region title since 2015. So the Lady Eagles are doing well in volleyball. So they snapped Sell Creek's 11-year run.
And they're all playing teams that have done well in the tournament too in the past. Along with like Eagleville, they've been there several times. So Siegel's been there several times.
In Division 2A, Notre Dame is at Middle Tennessee Christian on Saturday. PCA is on the road to Lakeway Christian. Either one of those 2 local teams win, puts them in the TSSAA, come on, Clark, state tournament Final 4 beginning next week. And they're local too. The Division 2A is at Middle Tennessee Christian, and the 2AA is at PCA. So local teams could be here locally. And then soccer. Tonight, Lebanon is at Stewart's Creek for the District 7 AAA championship game. Siegel is hosting Blackman. Blackman's first region appearance since 2012. So good luck to those teams. And Central Magnet will be playing Tullahoma. So a lot of local teams still in it, still a chance to win it. So good luck to all them. And then finally, cross country and track, Lincoln Haley of Rockville has committed to Tennessee Tech to further her cross country and track career. It's time for our TOA highlight. We're looking for young people in fall sports have done a great job. Gentlemen, we've got different kids to look at here to shout out. I'm going to shout out for Cameron Falks. She's a Siegel volleyball player. She got 34 digs this past week, and yes, she went to McFadden, so yes.
Imagine that. Another McFadden
Absolutely.
Jewel. Yeah. How about Molly Teague for Blackman? She combined for 30 kills and 2 aces. That's like putting it away right there. Molly Teague, Blackman.
I'm still sticking to the Lauren Powell train. 2nd in state. Can't beat that.
Just barely can beat it, but not much.
Only one person can beat it.
That's exactly right. And over in soccer, take a good look. I like looking at the goalies. McKenna Sailing for Siegel had a shutout goal, and she's going to need to play good tonight for the Stars.
How about Emily Martinez for Stewart's Creek? She had a goal and 3 assists. And I want to give a special shout out to Coach Jen Moore for Stewart's Creek because they went 10-0 in the district. And when you go unbeaten in the district season, that is a major statement. So congratulations, Coach Moore and Stewart's Creek Lady Redhawks on that.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Kristen Dean from Central Magnet. She had a goal and assist. They won 2-1, so she was involved in both scores.
All right, those are your Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance Highlight student athletes. TOA, the largest and most comprehensive orthopedic surgery group in Middle Tennessee. You can find out more at TOA.com. All right, it's time to horse around with Danny. You sent me a picture. What was that?
So probably maybe it come from Keeneland. Yes, because I did a little story about Keeneland. We were at Keeneland. I've actually been fortunate. I've been at Keeneland 2 weekends. The previous 2 weekends. We won't go this weekend. But the Keeneland meet is very short but very special. Keeneland is one of the most wonderful places on earth. If you love horse racing, or even if you don't know anything about horse racing, you go to Keeneland and you're gonna figure it out, because they've done some renovations there recently, but it's still got that old world charm. The thing about Keeneland Racecourse people have to remember is not only do they have championship racing, but that's where they have the largest auction house. So that's where they sell horses. So you can go there, Clark, and buy your yearling. Next September, get with Tamara. Y'all kind of pull your money a little bit. You can go buy your yearling. We can get a racehorse, and man, then we're really going to be doing something. This year, I think there were like the total number of horses sold at the yearling sale combined for, I think, $530 million.
I was getting ready to ask, what would a high-end yearling go for?
Million. Couple million, something like that. That some of those, most of them are more like six-figure type horses, because it's a yearling. It's never run. You don't know whether it's going to make it to the track. The whole thing about it is it's speculation, the same as whenever you're picking, hey, number 5 to come home first in this stakes race or whatever. You're speculating on all this stuff. But you look at of course, it's really a pretty neat setup. They got all these barns and a walking ring and all that kind of stuff where they'll bring the horses out and they'll parade them, and you take a look at them and all that stuff, and then they go to the auction block, and then people bid on them and all that stuff. And so if you're not willing to buy, you need to keep your hands in your pocket, kind of type thing, one of those situations. But it's all speculation. You're basing it off the broodmare and the broodmare's father and the sire and all that kind of stuff, and how the horse looks and all that stuff. So there's a lot of speculation. Some guys will have very keen eyes to know what to look for. Bob Baffert is one of them. Bob Baffert, who we all know has won more, Kentucky Derbies than anybody, won more Grade 1 races than anybody. He buys a lot of the horses for his owners. His owners just say, hey, Bob, go buy us a horse. And then he goes up there and he looks at them. But he has a very keen eye to know what to look for, whether it be they got a big booty or something in their gait, something how they walk, how they jog, whatever. There's certain things to look for to pick out. But that happens at Keeneland 6 times a year. They have sales at Keeneland, and that's a huge part. That's the engine that runs the machine, is what they say. And they call Keeneland the Disneyland of the sport, because it is. It's really a special place.
Well, that would be interesting. I've been to cattle sales. I've seen cattle sell, and we're buying those because we're going to make hamburgers eventually out of those boys and girls. But not a horse. Has prices gone up a lot?
Yes, it was a record year. This was a record year, which is, it tells you the health of the sport. People there are some folks who like to throw rocks at horse racing, but I think overall, especially in the state of Kentucky, thoroughbred horse racing is very vibrant and very healthy, because you've got lots of infusion of lots of money. The gaming money from Kentucky Downs and things of that nature have really given the sport a huge boost in the state of Kentucky. So the Keeneland sales, folks come from all over the world. The sheiks and all that stuff from the Arab Emirates and Dubai and all that stuff, they come to Keeneland to buy horses. So that tells you a little bit about what Keeneland is.
Danny's trying to get teacher money to pay for a horse ride. It ain't gonna happen.
Well, we'll pull our money together. We'll have a conglomerate. We'll have a partnership, man, and we can do it. Come on.
And who else is in this?
How many more can we get? But it's a gamble.
Well, it is. It's a complete. That's what the whole sport is about, is speculation. Like I said. But the thing about it is, what happens with this is, if you can buy a piece of a racehorse, well, instead of going to watch your kid play ball, you go to watch your horse run, kind of type thing. And it gives you an excuse to go to a destination and all that kind of thing. So it can be somewhere, just someplace to spend your money. Clark, you got plenty of it. You just figure out where you're going to spend it at. So you buy your horse. But the cool thing about this is, okay, so I wrote a story about a horse called Bear River that he was purchased for $50,000. He's won $1.6 million on the track.
Wow.
So there you go. Now, does that happen all the time? No. But can it happen? Absolutely, it does happen. Bear River, he'll be running the Breeders' Cup. I got a little story about him on Forbes.com. Bear River, Keith DeSormo trained. He won at Kentucky Downs to punch his ticket to the Breeders' Cup, so he'll be running a couple weeks at the Breeders' Cup and the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. But like I said, purchased for $50,000 as a 2-year-old, has banked over $1.6 million on the track.
Now, I'll tell you something I wish over the years I had bought, Rod. When the Packers put out stuff where you can buy into the Packers. You know how their fans own their team.
Yes.
That, to me, would be pretty cool, too.
Yeah, and then it'd be probably worth quite a bit of money compared to what you put into it.
Yeah, I think I could afford a Packer piece.
Well, see, the thing about it is, so there's a thing called myracehorse.com, and you can buy a share of a racehorse for like $100.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called myracehorse.com. And so they buy horses, and then they sell shares, and so you can get into buying you can own a piece of a racehorse for, like I said, $90, $100, $150, whatever. They've got one now that he's a 2-year-old that he's already racing. So I don't know what his share price is, but still you can buy shares into a racehorse for not that much. Then the My Racehorse horses, Authentic won the Kentucky Derby. He's a My Racehorse horse. Last year's Breeders' Cup Sprint champion and the Eclipse Award winner. Straight No Chaser, My Racehorse horse. The horse that won the Preakness 2 years ago, Seize the Gray, My Racehorse horse. So that it really has been a very good infusion into the sport, where you don't have to have a lot of money to get into the ownership thing. And then, like I said, you go watch your kid play ball.
Do you ever have any horses that when they start walking, they walk them around before they start the race, that look like they can't hardly do anything, and then once it starts, they just take off like a rocket?
Well, of course you do, but the thing is there are certain signs that you look for. You want to see them on their toes. If they're on their toes, I think that's always a good sign, when how they'll get on their toes and kind of prance.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain things to look for. If a horse is like kind of upset, there was a horse that ran in the QE2, the Queen Elizabeth II, $800,000 Grade 1 race, Fionn. She was the post-time favorite. She was like at 1-5 at one time. She went off at 4-5. She was very upset in the paddock. They couldn't hardly saddle her. So you knew something was afoot, and she didn't run well, and she didn't win.
Right.
So I was glad I didn't bet on her. I bet on Lush Lips was my pick, and she won it 8-1. Thank you very much. Keyed our late pick 5 score. Wonderful. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got a winner. Now, I'm going to transition that into a team that kind of got a win, or that they were given a win during the break. And that was the Tennessee Titans. How in the world did you watch? Did you see the highlights?
No,
Yes.
no, I didn't.
What? Tell us what we saw, Ron.
Well, what you saw a guy running for a touchdown to make it 28-7, and he just kind of let go of the ball as he's crossing the goal line. And he actually, when they got the camera out, he let it go before he crossed the goal line and went through the end zone. So it's a touchback, belongs to the Titans.
So it was kind of like a Leon Lett moment.
Mm-hmm. And then,
but it was the running back. It was a 70-something yard run.
Yes.
It was unbelievable. And then we scored a touchdown because we threw a pick. The kid went down, and when he went down, he fumbled the ball, who intercepted it, got kicked around and knocked around, and we recovered it back in the end zone for a touchdown.
Yes. And what's funny, too, our quarterback, Ward, looked really sharp. Yeah, once that stuff started happening, it's like everybody relaxed, and then he was hitting his targets. He was right on the money. Looked like a totally different quarterback.
But haven't they been due some good fortune? I mean, when you consider the just what has happened thus far for the Titans, that they were due some good fortune. I mean, that's what that is good fortune. I mean, that's just, a guy makes a mistake. Sounds like it was kind of a bonehead, like a Leon Lett moment kind of deal. And then, but you capitalize on that and just you get a break or two. And that's good teams seem to get those breaks. Bad teams don't.
Well, fortune, a gift, a miracle. I don't know what you want to call it, but it was the Arizona side. They were killing the Cardinals, those folks, about how bad it was. Well, we got a win, but then we came back. We'll talk about that after the break.
Since 1966, Fans Heating and Air has been a symbol of quality for Murfreesboro and Rutherford County. For friendly, complete service on Amana, Bryant, or American Standard Heating and Air products, Fans will do it all. Sell you your choice of products and then install it with their factory-trained, experienced professional staff. In the unlikely event you need service, Fans will be there with trained technicians. Fans Heating and Air is located on Jayhawk Court. Call 615-893-7930. Fans Heating and Air.
We're at Rick's Barbecue talking with Anne-Marie Brentz, who says they're ready to feed your entire crew with the family pack.
It's a pound of pork or any of our pulled meats, and then you get two 16-ounce sides, and then you get a bag of chips, which are plain or barbecued, and then the buns come with it, and then you get one of our drink choices, which is either a 2-liter of one of our sodas or a half-gallon of one of our teas.
And don't forget the famous Rick's Loaded Baked Potato.
That's the biggest potato you can get. They're right at 2 pounds.
Let Rick's Barbecue do the cooking, 212 Warrior Drive.
Hello, this is Coy Young at Las Casas Feed Supply. We'd like to welcome you to our door and hope you find the customer service and expertise that exceeds your expectations.
Las Casas Feed Supply caters to all homeowners with a 1/4 acre to several acres, focusing on premium feeds and dog foods you won't find in box stores.
Nutrition is our specialty here at Las Casas Feed.
And yes, you can even get milk from the MTSU dairy at Las Casas Feed Supply, the best milk in town. Las Casas Feed on Barlow Lane, just off Highway 96 East in Las Casas. Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
We're going to be an educational institution that teach Bible every day. Every subject we teach, we're going to teach through a biblical perspective. In every aspect of our school, we're going to do it through a Christian perspective.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
That also means that everything we do, we have to be excellent. We feel like Christ calls us to excellence. And so that means we have to be excellent academically. That means we have to be excellent athletically, because that's what God calls us to. It's a great place to be.
Invest in your child's future in an environment that fosters Christ-centered values. To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
Genesee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Here's Dr. Russell McKissick with TOA.
We have a passion here for taking care of our athletes here in Rutherford County. We really do our best to take care of them.
Experts in joint, bones, and muscles.
Many years we've been taking care of athletes around here, and we've just picked up where Dr. John started, and we just keep going.
TOA has a playbook that gets you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. TOA, live your best life.
Primetime Sports, presented by Ideas Tees on 1019, 100.5, 1450, wgnssports.com, and Big G TV.
All right, we're back. So we're talking Titans. So the Titans went out west a couple weeks ago to Arizona. Were given a Christmas gift by the Cardinals. Came home. Everybody's excited. We got to win, even if it was that way. Go back out west to play the Raiders in Vegas. Lost 20-10. And my son Nolan's been complaining about the Titans and their coach Brian Callahan. I said, buddy, he's gone. He goes, you think? I said, he's gone. He goes, I'm not sure. I talked to guys in my small group at church. I said, y'all, I'm telling you, he's gone. And here's why. The Titans don't want to put him out there in front of Mike Vrabel, because Vrabel's going to do some damage this Sunday at Titan Stadium. And they don't want to do it after that. They're going to go ahead and do it. And that's what they did.
Yeah, and they probably normally would have done it after that, because that was kind of really the proof in the pudding. I know one of the commentators on the Sunday night sports program on TV, they were talking about it, and he said, but if they don't do it beforehand, they won't do it after until the season's over, because they don't want Vrabel to think, I got rid of your coach.
Right, yeah. You know, the thing that I wonder, and I don't really know enough about it to have a qualified opinion, but is the problem the guy on the sidelines, or is the problem something else?
It's a little, I mean, the argument, I'm not him, but a little of both. I mean, the Titans probably have one of the worst rosters in the league. Interesting side note, coaches and number one picks as quarterbacks. 2025, of course, Cam Ward, coach fired. 24, Caleb Williams, Chicago Bears, coach fired. 23, Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers, coach fired. 21, Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville, coach fired. It has happened a lot where you have a number one quarterback, and when they don't see that quick turnaround, teams get a little antsy and they fire their coach.
Well, I tell you, you're in too big of a hurry to get rid of the coach, because number one, you're the worst team in the league. If you're picking number one, you're the worst team. It's going to take a while to build, and you definitely can't build it in 1 year.
Well, and here's a point that I want to make about all this stuff. If you got the worst record in the league, it's probably not because your quarterback is bad. That's probably not your only hole in your roster is your quarterback. You know, the bottom line for this, for football at any level, is you have to be able to run the football and you have to be able to defend. The quarterback doesn't do either one of those things. Most of the time, he's not going to run unless he's running for his life. not in the NFL anyway. So I think that your number one pick is much better spent on either trading it for multiple players, multiple picks to build like offensive and defensive lines, linebackers, cornerbacks, that kind of stuff. And then you have a serviceable quarterback. When you think about the Titans when they were successful, Steve McNair, he was a high draft. He was the number one pick, I think, or not the number one pick in the draft, but he was a first-round draft pick.
But he sat a couple years
and watched. Right, exactly. So he sat a couple years to learn the game. He wasn't rushed out there. I never thought Steve McNair was a great quarterback. I thought Steve McNair was a great playmaker. Okay, and to me, there's a little bit of a difference. He could do whatever it took to get the Titans in position to win football games. And because why? They could run the ball and they had a good defense. And so I think that where we're missing the boat is thinking that if we draft this one guy, it's going to suddenly take us from the outhouse to the penthouse. And I don't think it happens. I think that you have to build from within and up front and on the defensive side of the ball, up front offensively and on the defensive side of the football, that's where you win.
Well, here's where I think the Titans will never say this. They like Cam Warren. Seems like he's a good guy. Again, I don't think he's a generational type, once-in-a-decade quarterback. If they had had one, I'm like Danny, I think they could have got a boatload of picks. But I think they realized, great, we got the number one pick, and there's not just somebody that everybody wants. If everybody had wanted the number one pick, I think the Titans could have got a pretty good haul for it.
Right. Wasn't a whole lot of offers.
There wasn't that player out there that everybody thought, oh, he's the game changer. He's the franchise maker.
That's right. And I think that hurt the Titans.
Well, the thing is, you don't know who really is. Right now, if you look
just like the horses we talked about, you don't know. But sometimes certain players come through, and it's one of those like, oh, yeah, What
about Jackson Dart?
Yeah. Nobody wanted him.
Yeah, and look at him. So far, he's the best quarterback coming out of last year's group.
Right.
Yeah, because you're right. You don't know because there's a difference between college and pro. There is, and that's in basketball and baseball and football and all those major sports. There is a difference between the college game and the pro game.
All right, let's talk Titans head coaching history for a minute. Who is the longest tenured coach in the Titans? Do you know? He's been around when we were around.
Was it now? Are we going back to like Oilers days, like for the franchise history?
Well, I'll give you a hint. Kinda.
Okay. Jeff Fisher.
Jeff Fisher. Right. Jeff Fisher was 16 years with the Titans. Since then, Mike Munchak, 3. Ken Wisenhut, 2. Mike Mularkey, 2. Vrabel got 6. He should still be there, in my opinion. Callahan got kind of 2. Kind of 2, 1.5 or 1.6 if you want to say it. So Titans have not stayed with somebody in a while. A lot of people got mad at Fisher because he kept wanting to call him 8-8 Fish because he had so many years, but he was a good coach.
Yeah.
He got the most out of what he had.
Yeah.
Got the playoffs, got the Super Bowl.
So I was looking at this. I did not realize. Of course, I remember old Oiler coaches. Everybody remembers Jerry Glanville. Everybody remembers Bum Phillips. I didn't know way back in history, because I'm a Redskins fan of old, Sammy Ball was their coach for a year.
Well, I'll be dog. That was maybe when in the early days.
He was their 3rd coach in history, Sammy Ball. So just for a year, but it didn't have a great record. But I was like, Sammy Ball, the quarterback from the Redskins, but it was. So I don't know where the Titans are going to turn. What's funny, my family also talked about what is us with Mike. So we've got Mike McCoy is going to be the interim coach because we were mentioning Mike Vrabel, Mike Mularkey, and Mike Munchak in the recent years. So now we have another Mike. Mike McCoy, he's just playing with house money.
It's an open mic.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter what he does.
And do you think he was there, they hired him in March to be assistant
offensive analysis? Yeah.
Like he was hired to be ready for this particular situation if the coach has to be fired in the middle of the year, I think.
Now, McCoy's been a head coach. He was a head coach at San Diego, so he's got a track record. So
27-37.
Yeah.
Will we be happy with that?
Well, honestly, I don't think the Titans care. So the question becomes, do we care if I'm up there in Titanland if we win another game or not?
I don't know. I mean, What's the number one pick going to do for you?
Well,
I mean, you know.
Here's what the number one pick will do for you this time. If you're going to stay with Cam Ward, you don't need a quarterback. So that puts you in a position to say, hey, I got the number one pick, and y'all know I don't need a quarterback. And if you need a quarterback, now's your chance to come get it. I think they'll be in better position for that down the road. Technically, according, and I have started looking already, Tankathon, we're sitting with a bunch of other teams. Right now, we would pick 6th right now. The Jets are 0-6. We're 1-5. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the year plays out, how the Titans do. I'm going to be honest with you. Some people going to, quote-unquote, get hurt. The trade deadline's coming up. Are we going to trade some folks? We're going to try to, you know, if your salary's a little bit too high, we're going to let you go. If your contract's up, we're going to let you go. Next couple of weeks is going to be pretty interesting up there in Nashville.
Yeah, it is. And well, hopefully they can get, you know, several picks like you mentioned, you know, like a situation where maybe they can move back and get more depth. I think they've had one of the best, what we've seen so far, one of the best draft groups in the last couple of years, because Robinson's was horrible. In fact, we have hardly anybody left, you know, for the ones he picked. But several of these guys have been impressive so far, you know, being in the second or third or fourth round, you know, still playing and being productive. I mean, part of what we're doing is seeing them start to develop. That's a big thing.
Right. So, I mean, are you going to say, look, we're going to let the young guys play? We know we're going to take some hits on it. We're going to get rid of some stuff that maybe we can get some capital for, or we don't want to try to fight a new contract, you know, so we shall see. But I want to stay on this topic, not necessarily the Titans. We were the first NFL team to let go of a coach. Has college football gone crazy with their coaches? They have been, you know, you saw James Franklin just get recently let go with a big buyout. Already this year, halfway through the college season, there's been 7 coaches at pretty big schools, everywhere from Oregon State, UCLA, Virginia Tech, Arkansas, who Tennessee played last week, Oklahoma State. And I didn't know, I saw Trent Dilfer. You know, he was here coaching high school football. Mm-hmm. He's a UAB. Right. He got let go.
Yeah, I just heard that this week.
So are we as fans and teams, are we just cutting the cord too fast?
I have a theory. NIL. There's too much money in it. There's too much money in the college game with all this money flowing around. So we don't want to make our boosters mad. We want, you know, so I think, yes, we are too quick, because the whole thing about it is, I'll get on my soapbox for just a moment about NIL. We have lost sight of what this is supposed to be all about in college. It's a training ground for life. We teach young men how to be young men. You know, that's what's the most important thing. Now, we win football games and we represent our school and we have pride and we do all those things along the way, but we keep our core values the way they're supposed to be, and we're not doing that. And we're selling out for money, and that's why you sell this stuff. You know, because you're going to give James Franklin $60 million to let him go after 6 ball games. I'm a James Franklin fan. I don't know what was going on up there at Penn State, but I'm a James Franklin fan. I think the man can flat coach football. So why did they – and he's getting $60 million to leave. So, I mean, it's like, why would they give a man $60 million to leave? And I think it's just the pressures from internal within of, hey, we want to have winners. Well, we don't want to make these players mad because we're giving them all this money too. Like I said, it's just a recipe for disaster, and I think it's a ticking time bomb, and I think it's going to blow up soon. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Well, when I look at it, he was in the semifinals last year, top 4 teams, and we haven't even got half a year, or I guess maybe right at halfway point, and he's gone. I mean, what do you have to do as a coach to have some job security?
Who wants that job? Who wants that job? I mean, obviously, if you can get your contract with a big fat buyout, you know, if you're in it for the money. But I mean, a lot of these guys. I mean, yes, the money is there, but I think about high school football coaches. They don't do it for the money. They do it for the love of the game, and that's what a lot of these guys do. I think James Franklin loves what he does. I mean, I've spoken with him several times. I don't know him really, really well, but like I said, I'm a fan of his. I think he did great things at Vanderbilt, and I think he was doing great things at Penn State. I don't know what happened. I'm not sure where the train fell off the tracks, if there's some underlying stuff that we don't know about. I know he lost a couple of games that they were supposed to win. They were heavily favored, and he lost both of them. But that's not why you pull the plug on a guy, especially if you're going to have to give him $60 million to leave. I mean, that's just my thoughts, but, hey, I'm no genius.
Well, I think he'll have a job tomorrow if he wants it, or he's going to sit back and pick what he wants. There's going to be a lot of people who would love to have James Franklin as their head coach. Now, I don't know what his contract is as far as the buyout. If he gets the job, he has to pay so much back. I think I'd go fishing if I'm James Franklin.
For $60 million, yeah. I'm going to go hang out on the beach with Clark Blair down there and fish in the Gulf of Mexico or
That's
somewhere.
exactly
or Gulf of
right.
America, whatever you want to call it.
And he can pay. He can buy some horses.
He could. Yeah, I need to call up. Hey, Coach, remember me?
So, I think we're pulling the trigger too fast. I mean, I know the Titans, some people were ready for that to happen. I mean, second year, 6 games in, that's awful quick, guys.
I think so, but when you look at Callahan and what happened last year, you can understand it. But like Rod said, they were in the semifinals last year. You know, they were one of the top 4 teams in the country. And I think that sometimes the people who make these decisions do not really understand how tough it is, especially in this climate. When you think about the NIL and the players moving all around and all that kind of stuff, a coach's job is tougher than it's ever been right now at the major college level.
Well, every other college is looking at their coach and saying, do I need to give mine a raise so I don't lose them? Indiana already did that with their coach today, signed him to a big 8-year contract. All right, we got to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to get into Tennessee, Vandy, and the Blue Raiders.
Insurance should be simple, not complicated. That's why at Rayburn Insurance, Agent Rick Hull cuts through the jargon and helps you understand your options clearly. He's committed to finding the right coverage that fits your unique needs and budget. Their team has been a trusted partner in the community since 1973. Ready to make insurance easy? Get with Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency. He's ready to help you get the protection you deserve.
This is a paid legal ad.
I'm attorney John Day. My wife Joy and I love dogs and have one of our own. But we've also helped people who have been injured by dog bites and dog attacks, as well as bicyclists who crashed after a dog attack. You need to know that the dog owner may have insurance to help pay medical bills and other expenses because of a dog attack. If your loved one has been injured by a dog, call the law offices of John Day for a free consultation.
Pizza. You can now order Murfreesboro's favorite pizza online at sirpizzatn.com. We've made ordering online a breeze. From sirpizzatn.com, tap on the location nearest you and begin your order for carryout or delivery. You can order the Royal Feast, create your own, spaghetti, calzones, everything right from our online portal at sirpizzatn.com. Sir Pizza, you made me love pizza again.
If you need concrete work done, who would I call? Dan France Concrete. Here's why. He's local. He attended Walter Hill Elementary, Oakland, and MTSU. He served our community as a school resource officer for 9 years, and he's involved in the community.
This is Dan with Dan France Concrete, wishing all Rutherford County student athletes a great season. Study hard, play harder, and be safe.
Dan France Concrete is a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. Check out danfranceconcrete.com online to see some of their work.
Head over to J. Mullins Jewelry to check out their selection of rings, watches, custom designed jewelry, and much more. They're a local business located at 352 West Northville Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro. They have gifts for all occasions, weddings, graduations, anniversaries, whatever you need, you can find it at J. Mullins Jewelry. That's at 352 West Northville Boulevard or online at mullinsjewelry.com.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter, let the Rheem Pro professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Conditioning on West College Street keep your home or business comfortable year-round. We service all major brands and in most cases offer same-day service. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass.
Primetime Sports, presented by Ideas Tees on 1019, 100.5, 1450, wgnssports.com, and Big G TV.
All right, we're back for our final big segment, so I've got to buzz through some stuff, gentlemen. Big games this weekend, especially in the SEC. Tennessee heads down to Alabama. Tennessee is an 11.5-point dog.
Well, that's because they think that Tennessee, because they think Alabama is still Alabama, but they got to realize Tennessee is Tennessee.
Well,
so I'm going to say take the 11.5. Clark, hey, if you bet half your mortgage, we'll have a racehorse next September. We'll have a racehorse.
Yeah, I won't have a house either or a wife anymore if I do that. Alabama, talking about coaches again, they were ready to get rid of DeBoer last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they were mad as fire because he lost a couple of games.
Well, they lost their first game with Florida State, and they were ready for him to go.
Out the door. But now, oh, no, we love Coach DeBoer. Yeah, because you're number 6 and you're in the playoffs again. So that's going to be a tough game for the Vols on the road. LSU comes to Nashville to play Vanderbilt. A lot of people picking Vanderbilt. It's going to be a low-scoring game because both defense are really, really good. Although Vanderbilt has the number 19 overall offense in FBS, which is surprising. They're scoring 43 points a game. The Commodores are.
Yeah, Pavia, how about that stuff?
Not sure. Pavia, of course, leads them in passing and rushing, so LSU is going to be after him hot and heavy on Saturday. That game's at 12. The Vols and Bama play at night, so you can catch both games if you would like. MTSU, unfortunately, lost at home last week, 22-20 to Missouri State. That was Missouri State's first ever Conference USA win. Does not look good for the home blue.
It doesn't, and it just, when things are going bad, the snowball gets bigger. It seems like, missed a field goal. I think MTSU missed a field goal at the end that could have won the game.
50 yards. It'd be tough.
It was a tough, but they put themselves in a bad positions early, and they were down, and so it's just one of those things where it's like they're schlep rock right now. They just can't catch a break. It doesn't seem like.
MTSU plays next week, going to Delaware. Kickoff for 6:30. It'll air on the Blue Raider Network, which is here on WGNS.
That's a Wednesday night game too, right?
Wednesday night game. Yep, got another one Wednesday nights. Just unusual. MTSU basketball note. I knew of, because he was around, Coach Randy Will. Did y'all know Coach Randy Will at all?
Yes. Yeah, I interviewed him a few times, covered MTSU basketball some whenever he was the head coach there. So a good man, a very friendly man. He played for Dean Smith. Did you know that? He played for Dean Smith?
Mm-hmm. And coached with him for a little while.
Yeah, sure did, yeah. So I knew Coach Will. Deepest sympathies go out to his family. Like I said, always a very nice guy to me. My interactions that I had with him was always a very gentlemanly and very good man.
His son was a good baseball player at Blackman.
Yeah, played for Vanderbilt. Sure did. Yeah, right. Xander Will.
Yeah. Coach Will was a very interesting gentleman, very diverse, spoke 6 languages, was an avid musician. He raised and bought Paso Fino horses. Do you know what that is?
I don't. I'm not a horse expert if they ain't running on the dirt at Keeneland or whatever.
2 of his
so
horses
I don't know.
won national championships. Not sure what that means.
No, you're like an NIL, huh?
Well, no,
money's on them.
Well, it's not necessarily NIL. It's like money coming back to me. It's like cash a ticket, back a horse and get paid. That's what it's about.
He was a sprinter in the 1968 Olympics, a swimmer in the 1967 Pan American Games. Of course, played professional basketball over in Europe for the Dutch national team. The man was, like I said,
I think from Curacao. Is that where? Yeah, I think that's where he's from.
Yep.
And so, yes, an extremely interesting individual and very well-rounded and a very talented guy. So, like I said, lots of feathers in his cap. Randy Will, you will be remembered and you will be missed.
Yep, he was a good guy whenever I came across him. Basketball's around the corner, gentlemen. The Lady Raiders are preseason 3rd, which is a surprise.
Yes.
Because the way they've been running around, the men are 4th. So, scrimmages are coming up, exhibitions in college basketball, believe it or not, folks. And MTSU, both men and women, be pretty good. I'm interested in seeing that recruit we talked about last year. They got 6'7". Is that what we said she was?
I thought it was like 6'9".
Maybe so. So that will
One
be
from Spain.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, Coach Insel, he'll know what to do with her. Rest assured with that.
Oh, he will be hard on her.
Catch the ball, don't bring it down to the little people, put it right back up.
That's exactly right. All right, so let's talk high school football these last 10 minutes. We're down to 3 games left, gentlemen. Most things are lining up for everybody. Couple big games this week could swing it either way. We'll get to those in a minute. But last week during fall break, Blackman a 35-7 winner over Stewart's Creek, Oakland 35-14 over Rockville, Riverdale 31-13 over Smyrna, Clarksville 27 over the Siegel Stars, Kirkwood 40-9 over Laverne, Clay County 30-20 over Middle Tennessee Christian, Eagleville 34-7 over Moore County, and PCA over Christian Community. So it's been a week since we've played, but we still have time for a Smyrna Ready Mix concrete solid performer. Every game has someone on a team that provides a foundation of success. I'm going to go out to Eagleville and mention Jonathan Jones, 232 yards in that win over Moore County, 2 touchdowns, 15 carries. That's a pretty good average. Some easy math right there. It was well over 10, so good job, Jonathan Jordan.
He was running like Floyd Walker, wasn't he? So I'm going to shout out to Javion Elliott. He threw 2 touchdown passes in the first quarter and ran a long touchdown in the final quarter as the Blaze won 35-7 over Stewart's Creek. So Javion Elliott, solid, baby, solid. Smyrna Ready Mix, solid.
And for Oakland, running back, Justice, I didn't expect justice, but it's what it says. Justice Haggard had 103 yards and 5 carries, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions.
That's a night.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
He
20
went
yards a carry.
That's 20 yards. My guy was a little over 10. Yours is 20. That's impressive.
Yeah, I would say mine's the best.
Yours may have had the best game. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was all over the place. All right, that's right. Everybody gets recognition as a Smyrna Ready Mix concrete solid performer, locally grown, nationally known, Smyrna Ready Mix concrete. All right, gentlemen, we've got games this Friday night again. Oakland's in the driver's seat. They're 4-0. They've got Laverne, Stewart's Creek left, and then the Battle of the Borough here right before Halloween. Blackman's got Smyrna this week, followed by Siegel and Rockville. Danny, let's talk about that game first. Smyrna at Blackman, probably the biggest game for your dogs.
Well, it is. There's no doubt about that. I think that Smyrna has a real chance here, but things have to go very right for Smyrna and maybe not so good for Blackman, because I think, Smyrna, they lost 4 starters a couple weeks ago, disciplinary reasons. So they're down 4 starters. They were right before the Riverdale game. All this stuff went down. So they've kind of retooled their offense. They still have some talent, and I think that they have to go in there with the belief that they can win, because I think they can, but things need to go really right for them. But it is a big game for them, because it could really set them up to put them in the playoffs if they can close out the season with 2 big wins at home over rivals Laverne and Stewart's Creek.
Both teams are playing well defensively. The Blaze have allowed 10 points or less in 6 of their 7 games. The Bulldogs 14 or less in the last 4 games. It's going to come down, Danny, to Smyrna slowing down Javion Elliott.
That's what you got to do. I mean, the old school approach is you put a spy on them. You remember that you have your spy on the quarterback, and that's what Smyrna needs to do. You assign one of your top players. Hey, look, you're on him. Wherever he goes, you go. I don't care about anybody else. You take care of him, because you're right. They have to slow him down if they're going to have a chance to win.
And you and I were both at that Smyrna Riverdale game. A.J. Jackson came in at quarterback. I was impressed with him.
Oh, he played really well. He played extremely well, especially when you consider he started the first game of the season at quarterback when they were at Brentwood, and then he'd been playing wide receiver the next 5 weeks. So when you consider him, on Monday he found out he was playing quarterback on Thursday, and I think the kid did a very admirable performance from him.
Absolutely. Rod, undefeated Oakland goes to Laverne. Probably not going to be pretty.
No, it isn't. For Laverne, it's going to be rough. Oakland, it's going to be rough to keep the kids really stay focused. Don't get too relaxed, because you got to stay ready for the rest of the season. You got some big games still coming up, so you really have to work hard, though. Coach Creasy does, to make sure they stay on task.
Well, and we've talked about Laverne all year, new coach, trying to build a program. Their schedule has been, probably for all the group, probably one of the toughest ones.
Oh, it is.
And they didn't schedule any cupcakes, and then of course the way the region's set up this year, so going to be a tough one. Danny, Tullahoma going outside is coming to Rockville. Good chance for Rockville to pick up a W.
Rockets need to keep the momentum going because they've closed with some big games as well. They have kind of found themselves a little bit, but Tullahoma's no cupcake. They're not chopped liver. They started the season 3-0, and Tullahoma typically is a pretty good football program over the years. Over the last 30 years, they have been pretty solid throughout. So it's not going to be a gimme game by any stretch.
Tullahoma comes in, like you mentioned, having a good season. Rockville currently sitting at 4th in the region, so this is a non-region game. Then they've got Riverdale and Blackman, two teams that right up the ladder from them coming up the next 2 weeks. Rod, Stewart Creek needs to pick up a W. They got a good chance hosting 0-7 Knoxville Webb.
Yeah, it's not a typical Knoxville Webb. They used to be one of the powers in their particular division, in the Division II area, but they have taken it on the chin this year, so it's a good time to get things really working. They were starting to play a lot better second half last 2 weeks ago against Blackman. They really got knocked down right away. The game was out of hand, but they really played well afterwards. Kind of what we're hoping that the Titans will do. They started to show some really moxie and some good team play going through, and quarterback looked a lot better, looked more relaxed, and I was surprised how fast he looked. I mean, he would roll out, and we're talking about Blackman, a very top defense, and he just seemed to be gliding by people. So they're developing something good, but it's not a year for the playoffs, but get ready for next year.
In the confusing game of the week, Providence Academy is coming to play Providence Academy. I'm not wrong. There's a Providence Academy, and they're in the same region with Providence Christian Academy, but PCA sitting at 5-2.
I think Providence is going to win.
If you pick Providence on your pigskin picks, you've probably got a pretty good chance. That's for sure.
That's better than betting at the track.
That's exactly right. Rod, Middle Tennessee Christian 4-2 on the road, like they've been a lot this year, going to Tipton Rosemark, and I don't know where Tipton Rosemark is.
It's way over in West Tennessee, it's close to the Mississippi.
Okay.
And it's typically a pretty solid program. I think it's maybe a larger size school, so it's going to be a tough game for Middle Tennessee Christian. Long trip, so we'll see how it goes, but we hope that they can keep Bangira going, because he's really been on fire the last few games.
Well, they just need to stay healthy. They're 3-0 in the region. They play PCA at the last game of the season, which will be a huge game. So they went to Clay County, got beat. Road trip's been tough for them this year, trying to find games. Danny, Eagleville is on the road at Huntland. Huntland's sitting right above them in region standings. Going to be a big game for the Eagles.
Huge game. Johnny Major's country. Eagleville needs to do what Eagleville does, which is run the football. So if they can go down there and run the football and not turn it over, I think they got a good chance to win. But you're right, it is a key region game.
WGNS game of the week, Siegel at Riverdale. A Stars win would muddy up the region standings. That's exactly what the Stars want to do. They've got to stop the Siegel passing attack.
Well, and another thing, too.
Riverdale passing attack. I said Siegel.
Right, Riverdale Hampton has really been on fire. Got a couple of receivers that are doing really well. The kid that transferred from, I think it was, starts with a T, can't even remember, but he from the southern part of the state. He's doing really well. And they got a freshman that's an outstanding receiver. But the big thing is their defense is always solid. I think they've only given up 10 points a game on the average for the whole season. So that's great.
So that'll be your WGNS game tomorrow night. Countdown to kickoff will start about 6:30ish. Game kicks off at 7. All the boys from WGNS minus John Dinkins will be there. All right, so let's take a quick look at Pigskin Picks, because we've had that break there. Brian Barrett stays in first. Okay, here's the problem with Pigskin Picks. John, Brian, and myself would have had a perfect week. You know why that week before messed up?
The Titans won.
Titans won. Titans won.
We all missed that one, didn't we?
Yeah, we all missed that. We all picked Arizona. All right, so Brian's still in the lead. That's the way it is. We're going to take a break, come back, and close out this show.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park.
The frustration many are feeling is real and justified. Kenneth Barrett said that after the county commission denied raises for deputies this year, and as sheriff, fair pay will be a top priority.
We need to figure out how we can get ours comparable to other agencies and start communication with the county commission to try to get less steps at a higher percentage.
With nearly 30 years at the sheriff's office, Barrett brings servant leadership, accountability, transparency, and fairness. Learn more at KennethBarrettForSheriff.com.
Paid for by Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff, J.M. Stewart Treasurer.